Hey, this is Max, and we're going to go right into our DHCP Cisco lab. So the very first thing that you need to do is exclude addresses from your DHCP pool. Now this is done in the Cisco iOS by doing IP DHCP excluded addresses. And the first parameter is the low address and the second parameter is the high address. This stops your DHCP pool from leasing out these addresses to your clients. So you would set your routers or printers or whatever other statically configured IP addresses to these pools to stop the conflicts from happening. So once you exclude your addresses, you need to now create the pool. This defines a range of IP addresses that your DHCP server is allowed to lease out. And as we talked about in the lecture, this has a couple of required parameters. You set your network number and subnet mask in the same line, and that's done by using network and then the network number, make sure it's not an IP address, and the subnet mask after that. You then define the default router, which is the default gateway. They just call it different things. And then the DNS server. So now that you have your pool set up, you can assign a DHCP address to your interfaces, and I told you DHCP was easy. All you have to do is IP address DHCP in whatever interface you want to have a dynamic IP address on. So you can verify DHCP with these two commands, show IP DHCP pool and show IP DHCP binding. These are helpful whenever you're troubleshooting or need to verify some settings. So the DHCP binding command shows you the MAC address and the IPs that have been leased out. Just very helpful commands whenever you're troubleshooting. So pretty straightforward lab today. Your router is going to be your DHCP server, and you're going to assign DHCP addresses to both your hosts and the VLAN1 interface on the switch. So to set up your DHCP server in router 1, you're first going to want to set an IP address to the interface. In this case, we're going to be using G00. Then you're going to want to exclude the very first 10 addresses, and those are the parameters that we're going to want to use for our pool. And once you set up your pool, you're then going to want to assign a DHCP address to VLAN1 on switch 1, and assign the addresses to PCA and PCB. Well, good luck with the lab, and I'll leave a link in the description for the correct configurations if you want to refer back to those.